This is James Mathers for the Digital Cinema Society at Cine Gear Expo 2025. I'm here with my friend Michael Cioni, who's always on the cutting edge of technology. Michael, we've seen, we've gone from film. Not that film's, not still around, but we went from film to tape and digital. And what's next? Tell us about that path.
Yeah, well, I think the point you're making is that there is no one acquisition media format to bet on because it keeps changing. And that frustrates a lot of people. I could understand, right? I can't stand when they change the gold mount. Right? Now there's B mount, right? And we don't like that change. I remember when Apple took the floppy drive out of the computer, people went nuts. But Apple was saying, well, you're not going to need 3.5 megabyte drives anymore. There's going to be a better way to do it. And a lot of times good inventions help lead the community towards a better lifestyle. If we just leave it up to democracy, we'll never change, right? So we've seen film to tape, we've seen tape to files, we've seen files to cloud. But I actually think what's happened, if you look at that on the cost perspective, it's an inverted bell curve. Film was really expensive. Tape got a little cheaper. Files got really inexpensive. But then you put it in the cloud, it got expensive again. And we shoot so much for so many hours, for so many high quality cameras, that the storage in the cloud is like film. It's not a financially feasible way to work. So my prediction is that the next phase of storage is on really high performance, local, intelligent RAIDs and NASs, and they are local and there is no cloud. And so the way to connect with people is a peer-to-peer network where you connect me to you, you to Scott, some people, right? All that connects together. And that is a peer-to-peer federated way of connecting versus a centralized way. And the centralized technique we think is financially unachievable for most people.
So instead of putting all the assets in one place, say the cloud, they're distributed on everybody's different drive, but you can still work together. How do you work together?
Right. So you got it exactly right. We have built a Strada network, and it's a network that allows computers to connect to each other through a proper authenticated, secure invite experience. And now I can see your drives or folders that you invite me to. You could see my drives and folders that I invite you to. And now we're doing that. So instead of the cloud structure is this hub and spoke. The cloud's the hub, and we think of connecting to that. But that means every time someone in one of those spokes makes a new asset, which happens all day long, how do you get a single source of truth to be true? It's not, because all these people around the spokes created new assets. So they have to move that to the cloud. So there's this constant momentum of getting things back to that central space. We just think, one, it's cumbersome, it's slow, and it's expensive. What if all the media could just live on each spoke? And now everybody is their own connective tissue, and it's more like a web and less like a hub and spoke. And you use invitations to connect people together. And
the Strada brains of it, which is, I'm sure AI is tying that all together. That's keeping track of everything.
That's right. So Strada's brain, the Strada network we built, lives in the cloud, but it's only air traffic control. It's just connecting people together and allowing you to connect. But the actual media lives locally. And when you want to transfer, now, if you want to transfer something, you sent me a file a couple of weeks ago that I needed. And I remember thinking, man, we're going to change this because you had to upload it for me to download it.
Instead of direct. And now we can communicate peer-to-peer. So instead of you sending me anything, you just give me permission and then I fetch it myself. And that's one step instead of two steps. And so that's faster. And two, there was no cloud involved. So there's no Bezos tax involved, right? And that means we save money. So to what extent, I know you can view material on the other, but can you actually affect the material as far as like rendering and things like that? Or so today, the rendering has to be done locally, right? Right. And I think if we think of, these the tools that we use to change content, like editing systems and color and sound mixing systems, you're still going to generally work locally. That's the funny thing about the cloud is nobody really wants to work in the cloud. They use the cloud as a mail service. But when you're going to edit, I want to download it all. If you're going to composite, I'm going to download all that raw file. I'm going to mix, we're going to download the sound. Right? That's how we work. So creative people don't like working in the cloud. Documents are different. Documents are such lo-fi files that we work in documents in the cloud all day long. 5 people in a document, nobody cares. But video, in fact, my brother pointed out something really interesting. Video is like the only file type in the world that we want to share, but you can't actually change it, right? Video files can't be edited like a document can, or even a PowerPoint deck or something. Those are actively changing digital files, but video can't change. You have to bring it into this custom tool to change the file. And when we color correct or add text or add a window burn or put a mask on it or something, the file isn't even aware.
Just directions how to display the file.
That's exactly right. So think about that. Video files are effectively unchangeable. We don't mess with them. In fact, creative people are always saying, is this going to affect the raw? We're always like worried. And every answer is like, no. Nothing affects the raw. Like nobody touches it, right? We touch how we view it. Well, what we just invented in Strada's network is we allow you now to download peer-to-peer. So you can invite people to your drives or folders and you can download it locally and then do what you've been doing forever. Yeah. You want it local anyway, but now you don't have to pay for a cloud upload or cloud storage or cloud service in order to make that file go from point A to point B.
No Bezos tax.
No Bezos tax. Yeah.
Sounds really smart, but everything you do is always smart.
Well, you say that, but look, I think, and I actually feel tremendous parallels between making films and doing startups. I really think they're the same things. And I think like all actors are entrepreneurs because actors have to like build a business that's themselves. And they're always trying to raise money by just auditioning. It's just a really tough, it's a tough grind. But what we have always tried to do in all the businesses that I've started and been a part of is try to constantly, we show up to shows like this. We talk, why people might say, well, you and Jim always talk every single time. Well, I hope that we have something new to contribute every conversation.
You always have something great to tell us.
Well, I'm glad you say that, but it's because we want to listen and have conversations and get feedback from the comments on videos like this and from people that watch it and reach out. Like you can't make a movie very well if you're not willing to show a rough cut.
Yeah.
Or even just share the script when it's halfway done. And I think people that want to hold that stuff so tight to the chest and like, I don't want to show you till it's done. I think you're losing out on what it could be. Building a business is no different. We have to put ourselves out there. Strada, 2 years ago, we were here at Cine Gear, homeless. Austin and Pete and I had no job. We left our cushy jobs and said, let's try a new startup. That was 2 Cine Gears ago. Last year, Cine Gear, we thought, and you were part of that story, we thought giving people searchability of their media was what they wanted. And we launched the beta because of being at Cine Gear. We had enough people say, you need to put this in people's hands. We said, okay. Well, over 6 months of putting it in people's hands, they said, I don't want to have to upload all my stuff to a cloud in order to analyze it. I like your analytics, but it's in the wrong place. It's all on my drive. And we're like, huh. And enough people said that we started building the Strada network last fall. So like 9 months of work. And today the Strada network's alive. You can invite and connect. And now we've cut the cloud out of the equation. And the point is, if you ask for feedback from people and you're willing to give people unfinished work, and it's people you trust, you can understand nobody's being attacking you, they're just providing feedback, then we can use that data to orient ourselves and change the direction we're going and try to get it right for the customer. And so I love coming back to these and using feedback from the community. Cine Gear is a great place to do that, and try to make sure that we're building what the people want. And of course, they don't make it easy to understand. Everybody kind of says different things, and you have to synthesize that and try to understand what they meant as a collective and build for that. And we think Strada Agents is
what they've been asking for.
Yeah. No, we like it. We use it, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks, Jim.